the ground. It's Swift to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Lindsey. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. On 3rd and 2, Lindsey. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brooks. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Lawrence Cager, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. First down, Mayfield. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. Yep. after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
He's got a man complete.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25. And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career, and that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that, and even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
First carry here for Ken Walker.
And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Walker is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Mayfield looks to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3.
He's got a man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lindsey.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive,
It's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. For those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys
looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up here to Caldwell. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 30 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Here's Walker. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Mayfield down. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. And the pressure gets to him again.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Myers' kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun. Lindsey looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ross.
And he's going to be taken out of bounds, but not before he gets this all the way down to the 10.
A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. Here's 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Lindsey.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And in for the Lions, touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
from 10 yards out.
And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not have the balls go through goalposts.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Charles Harris has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Johnson on the return.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lindsey. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st. Operating from the gun. Lindsey. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Lindsey. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Lindsey. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And the half will begin with a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. But that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial. As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
To throw on 3rd down, Lindsey.
He'll find Swift out of the backfield.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a letdown defensively because they had them stacked up 3rd and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run, and now they're facing 1st and goal, looking to regroup.
Swift is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to have a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Lions are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Off the play fake. Lindsey going deep downfield for Ross. And this is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point up and through. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But
oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down. On the option to give to Swift here. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And some room to work. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Lions get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
From the 31, Mayfield. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He finds his man, complete. It's Brooks. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
115 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. First down, and they go with Swift again.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Hauled in here, Caldwell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Now Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Third and long for Mayfield.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point up and through by Myers as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run with Foreman. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And he won't get in, but you can't be set up any better than that. They'll have the ball at the 1-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Well,